Oh, that's a bit of a glare from the window. No, kitty. See if that helps. Hi, little horses. Sweetheart, how does it look? I'm using Wi-Fi for the first time. Thank you for the thumbs up. It looks good. Okay, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hi, Susan Bezio. Hi, Lucky. Hi, Grammy B. I'm feeling better. Although I have almost worn off fingernail polish on one hand, no fingernail polish with dirt stains on the other hand from pulling weeds out of the tomato patch. I know, Grammy B. This heat has been really bad. I'm sure it is for you too, Grammy. Anyway, I had an opportunity to go live. I have us on charge as well, and I'm a little bit excited. Hi, Rocky. And I've already been emotional over what I want to talk to you kids about, or actually read to you kids from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette Sunday paper that Bob just brought to me, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes ago now. And it caught his eye because he knows that it's something that that I have shown concern about, not only here on the channel, but speaking with him about it as well. Hi, Nana Drama Nana. Let me put these back on so I can. And as you kids know, I haven't been live in a couple of weeks for several reasons. And you may notice that we are in my office in the day bed. And I'm leaning up on my hot pad. And there's a kitty trying to mess with the newspaper article. Anyway, I need these on to see your chat. So let me take a few deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth, pursed lips, and let my shoulders drop. And get focused here for a minute. First of all, beg your pardon, let me say hi. I'm Susan, and welcome to Lip Locked No More. If you're new, we're glad you're here. If you're a return subscriber, we're really glad you're here. And there will be a ruckus in the background due to two of the Ninja Kitties. My nervousness is also about the Wi-Fi for the first time. And the reason I'm using Wi-Fi is because right now, the heat here in our area has been so intense that long about this time of day, data, which is what I usually use here on the phone, on YouTube, is getting sketchy, especially when it comes to apps. Phone calls and texting, everything like that has been working just fine. But if I have YouTube running on my phone long about this time of day, it starts the dreaded buffering. So that's why I'm using the Wi-Fi. I was going to just record reading this article and upload it. Then I realized it's a rather long article. And then I got to thinking about how I hadn't been live here for a while. And I was kind of in the mood to bring good news. in regards to the missing here in my state, the fine state of Arkansas. Those of you that have been around for a while, and babies, I'm going to take my eyes off of chat now. I'm going to do my best to catch up with you babies before I say goodbye. If you've been around for any time at all, you may recall the day, I'm trying not to be emotional, the day that I brought to the channel a young man named Floyd Allen, missing out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, who was on a missing persons list here in the state of Arkansas, a website called Never Forgotten. When I called the Pine Bluff, Arkansas Police Department to get as many particulars as they were willing to share, and this was, I want to say, around a year ago, and it's still here on the channel. And because my PC is in the shop, I can't pull anything up and show it to you because I don't have a desktop right now. But if you want to go look, it should be under the name, Floyd Allen's name should be in it. This young man had been missing in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. He was on the Never Forgotten website, which was my major source. And when I called the Pine Bluff, Arkansas Police Department and was given to the detective that had worked Floyd's case, I was told that Floyd was at home and he was safe. I became rather distressed during that live stream with the realization that I had been working a list that had people on it, not just children, who were not missing any longer. And I declared on that day that I was going to start making some phone calls. Now, I want to make it clear by making that offhanded remark, I'm not claiming any responsibility for what has happened at all. None. But it is an example of how voices can bring attention to something that needs attention brought to it. I'm one voice in a choir, and not the lead voice by any stretch of the imagination. Again, using that list, and this was after Floyd Allen. Sorry, the kitties are distracting me. I discovered on the list a missing man here in my town. And most of you know that I am friendly enough with a majority of those at our local police department that I can speak to them on a first name basis. And so I called the police department, and I did this on a live stream as well. Now, this is a totally different thing, and that those of you who were present for that live stream may recall that when my friend came back on the phone, she had spoken to the detective in charge of that case, Detective Griffin, and he told her to tell me that I needed to leave this alone, that it was an open and active investigation into this man's case, and he had been missing for some 20 years, and for me to leave it alone. So we did. And then I just said, okay, I'm going to try one more time with the list. Third time is either a charm or not. And long story short, it was not. It was a toddler, once again, out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And when I made the appropriate calls to the appropriate authorities, the baby was home and safe, yet still on the missing persons list. This morning on our community tab, I have already shared a short television news piece about this. And when I told my husband Bob about it, and I began to cry, it wasn't but a few moments later that he walked in with this. So this will probably be boring for a lot of people because there's no drama here. There's just an update on something very important to me. Not as a YouTuber, as a human being with empathy, compassion, and a caring heart, seeing that something needed attention. This is from the Arkansas section of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I'm sorry for the sound of the newspaper folding, but the kitties. Sunday, June 29th, 2025. Missing persons system updated. Cases reported now in real time. By Dale Ellis of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. According to the Arkansas State Police, there are currently more than 400 unsolved missing persons cases in the state involving individuals ranging in age from 1 year to 91 years old. In 2016, in an effort to keep such cases from falling out of the public eye, the Arkansas Crime Information Center, ACIC, partnered with the Arkansas Attorney General's Office to create neverforgottenAR.gov, a public searchable database for all missing persons in Arkansas. On Friday, ACIC announced, quote, a significant upgrade, close quote, to the webpage to enable real-time updates to be entered when a missing person is reported to the National Crime Information When a missing person is reported to the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, by local law enforcement agency, The system, according to a state police news release, will automatically capture the entry and post it online, including any live updates or changes to that entry, such as revised information. The release said the upgrade will also enable immediate removal from the site if a person is found and taken off that NCIC list. Y'all, I'm sorry. Like I said, those of you that have been around for a while, you know how important this has been to me. Thank you all for being here. ACIC Deputy Director Rick Stallings, who led the research and implementation of the improvements and worked closely with the site's vendor, Mainstream Technologies in Little Rock, said the idea behind the upgrade was to provide real-time ability for law enforcement to enter new information or updates to existing information for immediate dissemination. Quote, before this enhancement, Stallings said, it was being updated once a week. So on Monday morning, it was uploaded with information from the week before, and by that point, anything after 10 o'clock was stale information because it's waiting until the next Monday to upload. So that's a significant improvement, getting the information in real time. Close quote. Another feature of the system update, he said, in addition to adding the ability to enter or update missing person information almost instantly with no lag time, is that outdated information can quickly be removed. Sorry, I got a teardrop on the end of my nose and it's tickling. I'm so excited. Oh. To have a new entry placed on the website or to update an older entry, Stallings said people should contact their local law enforcement agency, which is responsible for submitting updated information and photographs to NCIC. Local agencies then provide updated information to ACIC for inclusion on the website. Quote, by state law, Stallings said, they have to enter the information to NCIC immediately, close quote. Kitty, let me get, Kitty. They are having a blast with the other part of the paper. Where were we? Okay. We're a little more, we're about halfway done with the article. In the case of new reports, he said, a common misconception. Oh my goodness. In the case of new reports, he said, a common misconception driven by television is that there is a wait time of 24 hours before a missing person can be reported. In Arkansas, Stallings said that's not true. In fact, the Adam Walsh Act requires a missing person to be entered within 2 hours. The Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act is a federal statute that was signed into law in 2006. named for Adam Walsh, an American boy who was abducted from a Florida shopping mall in 1981 and later found murdered. The act organizes sex offenders into 3 tiers according to the crime committed. And it established a comprehensive national sex offender registration system called the Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. As information is entered, quote, that is put into the system in real time, close quote, which Stallings said allows descriptions and other information to be accessible as soon as it is reported. Quote, if they come 2 days later and the family says, well, they have a scar on their abdomen or a tattoo on their right shoulder, they enter that into the system and it's up there immediately, close the quote. Another feature of the system is an alert that goes out to Arkansas State Police and the U.S. Marshals Service when a missing person is entered, which Stallings said gives law enforcement the ability to respond more quickly, particularly in cases involving juveniles who may be at risk of being trafficked. By eliminating the lag time, he said, both the general public, that's us, and law enforcement have access to the most current information available. Y'all, I got to get a drink of water. Hi, Candy. Candy, honey, I'm live from the daybed on a Sunday morning / afternoon, or maybe middle of the night if you're in Australia, down under. And the Ninja Kittens are bouncing off of everything. But y'all know me. I'm like a snapping turtle, you know. Once I get a hold of something, I don't let go till it thunders. And it could very easily thunder as soon as I finish reading this article with the storms we've been having here. Okay, going on. As a reminder for anyone coming in late, I am reading an article from today, Sunday, June 29th, 2025, written by Dale Ellis of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. It's the Sunday newspaper. And this topic and situation is and has been for over a year for me of particular importance and has been addressed here on the channel before. And now there is finally an update. And so here we are. And I'm bringing it to you from the newspaper. Old school. Okay. As of Friday afternoon, and this being Sunday, of course, okay, June 29th, so as of June 27th, just a few hours after going live, Stallings said he had already received 21 emails from people regarding various people listed on the website. No kidding. Quote, there are quite a lot of missing person cases here in Arkansas, he said. A lot of people wouldn't believe how many people are reported. And as we saw in the opening paragraphs of this article, currently there are more than 400 people in the state of Arkansas ranging from the ages of 1 to 91 missing in my state. The oldest entry on the site is that of Margie Ada Sneed, who was reported missing from Hot Springs on New Year's Day, 1974. Sneed, who was 19 when she was last heard from, would be 70 today, according to the website. The most recent entry is that of 17-year-old Reese Osment, Osment, first name Reid, Osment, Osment, 17-year-old, who, according to the website, was reportedly last seen in Russellville, Arkansas on Thursday, 3 days ago, and was placed on the site the same day. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, since its inception in 2007, 770 cases of human trafficking have been identified in Arkansas, involving 1,979 victims of both sex trafficking and labor trafficking. Now, babies, here again, I know I use this phrase often, and it's become a cliche here, I suppose. But those of you who have been around here for a while will recall maybe 3 years ago here, I did a rather extensive series that included information I brought to you from the United States Department of Justice. And that information told us that human trafficking is the second fastest growing crime in the United States, second only to drug trafficking. And it is very quickly catching up in its ranking. And 1,979 victims of sex and labor trafficking of human beings right here in the state of Arkansas since 2007. Quote, any missing person, regardless of age, is important, Arkansas State Police Major Stacy Rhodes said in the release. Quote, we will continue to work together to find innovative ways to bring them home, close the quote. In addition to ACIC, the release said Arkansas missing persons efforts are supported by the Attorney General's Office, Arkansas State Crime Lab, Arkansas State Police, Arkansas Association of Chiefs of Police, Arkansas Sheriff's Association, the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Little Rock Division, the Morgan Nick Foundation, and the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. Quote, locating missing children and adults is a priority shared by local, state, and national partners, said Arkansas Public Safety Secretary Colonel Mike Hagar. In Arkansas, we work together to support families searching for answers, close quote. Installed at a cost of $13,000, Stallings said the upgrade was paid for out of ACIC general revenue and is a one-time expenditure with no ongoing licensing or maintenance fees. $13,000, wow. For less than the price of a car, less than the price of most weddings. Only $13,000. Once again, paid for out of ACIC general revenue and a one-time expenditure with no ongoing licensing or maintenance fees. Thank you, Arkansas. He said the effort to develop the upgraded capabilities had been ongoing for about a year. After he was approached by Arkansas State Police and the U.S. Marshals Service, both of which expressed interest in such an upgrade to help combat human trafficking. Although the capability has been available in other states, Stallings said, because of differences in that information Arkansas authorities publish, or because of differences in what information Arkansas authorities publish, Mainstream Technologies worked with ACIC to tailor the system upgrade to the state's specific needs under a tight deadline. Quote, "We gave them the go-ahead in May," Stallings said. "We said it had to be done by July 1st, and they were able to do it." Close quote. Hi, Sherry. Darlings, if you ever see something important that needs attention and it gets your attention and you can bring it to the attention of others, don't be afraid to bring attention to that which needs attention brought to it. You never know. Now then, I would like a cigarette, so we're going to see if the Wi-Fi keeps working when we go out on the front porch, and I'm going to at least try to acknowledge those of you who have taken time on a Sunday to pop into a spontaneous live stream here on Lip Lock No More. Thank you again for being here. I truly appreciate it. I wanted to share this news with people that care about such things, and that would be y'all. And this kitty wants my newspaper so badly that that's one of those that's going to get saved. So I'm going to unplug you from the charge. How long we've been on here? 33 minutes. I still have my still dealing with my mess up on cutting the butterfly bangs. Hi, I'm too honest for this. I'm glad you're catching a life too, honey. Anyway, let's see how the Wi-Fi thing works out on the porch. Get away from these pesky kitty cats. All right, I'm going to plug the charge. You now are unplugged. Grab your barf bags because we're going to move. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. Move it! And the kitties have you little rascal, you. Anyway, actually, let me keep these on. And you guys, if you will, tell me in chat if I start pixeling out or, the signal gets real bad, and I'll just go ahead and end the live stream. I had to fix that to get out the door. Baby, I'm running live. I'm fixing to do a walk through the living room. We're walking through. They're looking at me, not at you, although they're fixing to look at you. This is what happens when your hubby retires. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Okay, if I can get out, I've got a book under my arm. I've got y'all in a tripod, a soda in my other hand. Okay, are we still live? Are we pixeling? I don't see any chat. What's going on? There's a cat laying where I ordinarily would sit the camera. Mr. Grayson, if it isn't one thing, it's another around this place. Look, now look what I'm dealing with. Mr. Grayson, you're not supposed to be snoozing on the smoking porch. And I'm afraid he might knock us over. Hang on for me a minute, darlings. My cigarettes are over on the other side of Mr. Grayson because I usually sit on the other side. And I really don't like the idea of him being close to the cigarette smoke either. Oh, I can't hardly see anything. Ah, okay. And don't look at the, yeah. It's time to clean the siding. There'll be people out there going, it sinks in on the couch because he sits there so much. What you see on the siding there is we have vinyl siding, and once a year we have to scrub the siding. And it's funny how it's in a straight line like that, but it's like the algae kind of thing. But you know how YouTube is. There'll be people that'll clip that and go, oh my goodness, do you see how filthy the outside of her house is? You better chat with me. This is driving me insane, and I'm already fruity and nutty enough. Okay, if you're not going to chat, I'm just going to sit here and smack and ignore you guys. I don't know what I just did, but whatever I did, I sure am glad I got out of. I don't know if you guys could still see me, but on my end, my YouTube home screen came up, and I was like, what did I just touch? Hi, Shay. You gonna walk the pooch for? Oh, Bob's gonna walk Rags the rescue dog for me. It's time to walk her, and so he's gonna walk her for me. She's on a sort of a schedule. Nada, you're outside smoking as well. Shay, honey, yours went to. Baby, your chat faded, Shay, before I could read it all. And now after doing whatever it was I just did and somehow managed to figure out how to get out of and back to you guys, I'm afraid to touch anything. I'm going to try this again. Live chat. Grammy B, you're smoking too? Oh, you guys know we don't smoke in the house. And it's not quite as hot here today as it has been. I hope you all are well. I haven't had the opportunity. Well, I I almost lied, but I didn't mean to. I started to say there hasn't been the opportunity. That would imply I haven't had the time. That would not be the truth. I have had opportunity to go live. But as I said in the video upload that I did several days ago, I already explained why I hadn't been live, so I won't tax you with all of that beeswax again. Um, but so now I know that I can use the Wi-Fi, and it seems to be working fine for you guys. Since I don't have a second screen right now to check it. Hello, Rags the rescue dog. Don't knock mommy's camera over. Hello, baby. Go walk with daddy. Go walk with daddy. She needs a drink of cat water. Go with daddy. There they go. So anyway, guys, because I haven't seen you in a while, I am hoping that everybody is doing well. Um, I know that, and I feel that it's okay for me to say this publicly on a live stream because she said it in a live chat on another channel. But our 57 and Fat, who is, I think, our newest member, um, y'all may remember that she was going to have some knee surgery. I believe it was her, I'm pretty sure it's her knee. And it got delayed a couple of days. And um, she's had the surgery, according to the live chat I read. And she was in quite a bit of pain on that particular day. Would have been several days ago. I can't give you any more specifics than that. Um, so, of course, every time it occurs to me, I'm sending out good vibes for 57 and Fat and hoping that she's doing all right. And I hope that anybody that's been having any physical or emotional or mental, any kind of struggles here of late, I hope you're dealing with them, at least in a way that, you know, it's not more than you can deal with right now. So, and your chat is gone. Shay, there you are. Shay's been really busy. Nada, continue to pray for your mom. Yes, honey, of course I will. So, all right. There's a very nice breeze blowing here. The sky right now is what I call a Simpsons sky. You know, The Simpsons, the cartoon from TV. um, Blue with really big, poofy cumulus clouds. Across the road, there's a huge white crepe myrtle in bloom. In the distance, I can hear a lawnmower, the birds chirping. There are dragonflies all over the field across the road. And we are recovering here from the flood. Electric bicycle. Um, okay. About a week ago, flooded pretty bad pretty badly. And it beat down a lot of my flowers. That's the alarm telling me it's time to walk rags. And washed out pert near all my onions. So I guess I'm going to have shallots rather than onions. Oh well. So, well, I wish your chat didn't keep fading the way that it is. Shay, you know, I know this about you, that you love nature like I do. And I'm jelly of you from time to time, being where you are. And I've been through Kentucky, but I've never like stayed in Kentucky, spent any time there. I just drove through it. And it is beautiful there. And of course, I've seen, I remember, Shay, one video in particular, and I think it was right after you started your channel. You took us on a walk and showed us around where you live. And I was just like, wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, baby, for walking her for me. I appreciate it. He won't move, so. Well, I don't want him to get the cigarette smoke in his face. And I'm about finished, and I'm going to go in and read these kids a short little bit out of our book and say goodbye to them. So you can have this seat if you'd like to have it. Could I trouble you to put this out in that other ashtray over there for me? There's another ashtray over there. I'm getting Bob to put it out over there for me so the smoke's not in the kitty's face. Anyway, I've been trying to pay attention to your chat, but I keep spacing out on you. Change places with my feller. Y'all, I just got the tail end of my dress caught in the door. Now I can see a little bit better too. The reflection out there is pretty bad. I really did. I got the whole tail end of this dress here. Let me set this down over here. Okay, are we still okay with the video signal as we are testing the Wi-Fi? Here we are in the kitchen, and we're a braless kitchen cult, but I'm wearing one. Before we say goodbye, we have to have our impromptu reading. See what we get. Now, hi, Nasty Rana. Now, I know that on our last, by the way, I'm waiting to see if our video signal is still okay. I know that I said, like in a community post, I think, as well as in the last video upload I did, Grammy, you've got a bra on? Okay. I don't feel so out of place in the kitchen. Anyway, oh, look. This is what happened to my onions in the flood. Wah. I should have gotten stoned first. What is good? This dress. That's what I was, look. It's, see? And when I came through the door, I guess the breeze or something caught it in the tail end of it. the tail end of it got caught in the door when the door closed. I was like, whoa. So anyway, well, I'm going to assume that we're still okay with our video signal. Because if we are, I may start using, hi, Kiki Eyes. You've been watching from the pool. Oh, now I'm super jelly. I'm jelly of Shay because of Kentucky. I'm jelly of Kiki Eyes because she's in the pool or by the pool. Let's see what this is. Now, you kids know, and I should have given a fair use disclaimer thing up front since I was reading an article authored by Dale Ellis of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I was reading that under fair use. And I'll be reading from this under fair use as well. Getting the Most Out of Life, an anthology published by the Reader's Digest in 1946. 4 years before I was born. Yeah, the book is older than I am. And if you're new, then let me very quickly explain. I do my best, on live streams anyway, to leave my viewers and listeners in as upbeat a mood as I possibly can. And so I open the book and I pretty much read from wherever it opens. And what I do, and I attempt to get the listener to do, is to transpose whatever wisdom we may find here. And remember the words of Mark Twain, from any experience, take from it only the wisdom and stop there. So I attempt to transpose whatever cold reading I do. And cold reading, I'm sure you guys know, but just in case means I haven't pre-read this. So I may even come across some big words that I don't know how to pronounce. And let's see how we can apply it, if we can, to our experiences on YouTube. So today we're going to read a little piece called The Minor Pleasures of Life. It was written by J.B. Priestley, and it is reprinted from the Listener. There never was a golden world, and I don't suppose there ever will be, yet now and then, in moments of delight, we catch the glint and gleam of it. I don't mean lumps of glittering happiness, but moments brought by little things. There's delight in city streets. The smell of roasting coffee alone might stop a desperate man from suicide. I once stood several minutes outside a fishmonger's in an ecstatic marine reverie because I had caught sight of a noble, rich-looking fish, and it had set me thinking about the sea, all the oceans in the world, their vast extent, their strength and mystery, the incredible variety of life in them. Do you remember the enchantment when you were a child of waking in a strange, muffled world to find snow blanketing everything? I still feel the magic of that. The beginnings of journeys are delightful. Settling down in a railway carriage or having a preliminary prowl over a ship, but better still is coming home after a long absence, the moment you open your own front door. Think of the tiny things that bring delight. A child laughing, somebody playing the piano well in a strange house, the smell after a shower. How one of these things can light up and change a whole day. The end. And now, as is customary, I'm going to sing yins out and say goodbye because we're coming up on an hour. And as you know, I like to keep it at about an hour. We may even run out of battery before I get done. And I, generally speaking, sing whatever has popped into my head. And here's what popped into my head. You'll have to imagine the band. Hi, Cheryl Mahaffey. And again, if I've missed you in chat, I'm sorry. By the way, if you're on Replay Crew, thank you for that too. And please know that for some unknown reason, my live chat does not upload for about 24 hours. So it's not because I've disabled it. It just means that YouTube is kindly keeping an extra close eye on me. Anyway, I ain't got no band no more. How's that? Not even a double negative. That was a triple negative. So you have to imagine the band just like I do. Busted flat in Baton Rouge and waiting for a train. And I was feeling nearly faded as my jeans. Bobby flagged a diesel down just before it rained. Drove us all the way to New Orleans. So I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana, and I was playing soft, and Bobby sang the blues. With them windshield wipers slapping time, I was holding Bobby's hand in mine, and we sang every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, and nothing ain't worth nothing, but it's free. And feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues. And feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. From the Kentucky coal mines to the California sun, hey, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather, through everything we done, well, Bobby, baby, kept me from the cold. And then one day near Salinas, Lord, I let him slip away. He's searching for that home, and I hope he finds it. But I trade all my tomorrows for one single yesterday, holding Bobby's body next to mine. Holding Bobby's body next to mine. Now, I'm going to tell you to behave. I know when I tell you that you ain't going to do it. I realize that it is a waste of my breath and your time. But I'm an old granny ma, so I'm going to tell you anyway. As you go out onto the main streets of YouTube, as well into the pleasant streets of your real life, be kind. It'll come back to you tenfold when you're expecting it the very least, but you're needing it the very most. Now, you don't have to go home, but you need to get out of my kitchen because I got shit to do. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Bye. Now, if I can remember how to end a live stream. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And nothing ain't worth nothing but it's free. And feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues. And feeling good was good enough for me, good enough for me and my Bobby McGee.